There we go.
Hey, how's that?
Uh, you were fine. I was messed up. I don't know if you saw my comment, but apparently my headset wasn't working, and I probably haven't been recording audio this entire time.
You have. I've been able to hear you mutter the entire time.
Oh, you have?
Well, I can hear you mutter. I don't have the YouTube audio set up. I did hear your comments about never being able to do anything once.
Yeah. Yeah, I always seem to be doing something multiple times. I don't know if you caught the part where apparently when they sent me the wrong dollar and nuts, they sent me another set of rods, and apparently I used those, and those rods are the wrong length.
Oh, for the Z screws?
Yeah, so I went back and checked, and my original rods are the right length, and that's what I'm fixing right now.
Okay. I am being sluggish at the moment. Was Levi unhappy that he got chased out?
Yes, he is.
You're being sluggish with what?
I am sitting in my chair with my feet up, watching you work, instead of actually working on the things that I need to. I ended up working for several hours today, so.
Gotcha. Yeah, you were on call, right?
Yep. So, anti-backlash nets, because those are always fun to put together.
Yeah, especially when everything's already mounted on the rod, but the last one actually went together okay, so hopefully the next two go together okay too.
Okay. Did you figure out what the issue is with the alignment on the Z lead screw support connector at the top? Am I gonna drop something on anybody?
No.
Okay.
Basically,
Oh,
I
doing.
think it.
Sorry, I just watched it shoot off the end.
Oh yeah. I think essentially the issue is that he prints everything outside in instead of inside out, so
Okay.
the diameter is a little bit more narrow when you do it that way.
Okay.
That's part of it. And then the other part of it is the fact that if you don't have like I had to clean up the inside of the part to make sure it would sit, flush and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot of leeway in there, so I had to kind of make the leeway.
Got it. Yeah, I've seen some folks on that, instead of using a just straight up plastic bit like that, like the Z-Rod parts on the Creality ones, they use an 8 millimeter ID bearing, roller bearing, or not roller bearing, but a ball bearing with an 8 millimeter inside diameter, and they mount it in a groove, so they mount it in basically a between two plates, so it has some translational ability.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good. How's Picard?
Oh boy, it's awesome. I don't know if anyone else is watching it, but
I haven't yet.
No spoilers.
So good.
I want to watch it, but I have some kind of fundamental disagreement with CBS and CBS All Access.
Hey, you can watch it on Amazon Prime.
Oh, you can?
But it comes out a day later.
Okay, well, I can wait a day.
Yeah, well, now you have 6 episodes to watch.
There we go. That's all right. I'm waiting for tomorrow night when I can pick up the next episode of Outlander.
Oh, okay. You know what it is? Okay, I'm just looking at it. It's you need to go through CBS All Access from Prime. So it's still CBS All Access. Anyways, what you should do is wait for them to all come out and then do your 7-day free trial.
Yep, and then binge watch it and then cancel.
Yep.
It's like, you know, everybody used to pirate all the shows because it was a nickel and $3 there, $8 there, $10 there, and then it's like Hulu and Netflix, and you could watch pretty much everything.
Yeah.
And now they're splitting it all up again, and it's like, okay, time to start pirating again. I'll pay for a show that I want to watch, but don't make me do a monthly subscription kind of thing.
Yeah, there's that thing about ownership that I'm sure people feel similarly about software.
Yeah, I'm a little frustrated by that too, because, oh look, we're just gonna get away. Anyway.
Oh boy.
That is Eric not muting himself when he's running the drill.
Oh,
to run the lead.
I thought I had it muted. I'm sorry about that.
It's all good. Wait. Let me actually look at somewhere there's a live stream.
Yeah, we can mute him.
That's true. We can mute you.
I muted myself. I swear I had hit the mute button. I'm not sure what happened there. Sorry about that.
It's okay. It's amusing more than anything else.
I generally always try to mute myself whenever I use the drill, but apparently I failed on that one.
It's all good.
That's all right. We were just discussing lead screw upper retention elements when you jumped on.
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry, they're squeaky. If that's what you're wondering.
The fact that and this is actually something maybe worth putting in the notes is your methodology for printing when you set up your prints for your wall order when you're doing your perimeter order. Not everybody does outside in.
Oh, did I not write that down somewhere?
Don't remember seeing it.
You know what? Let me check. That's a really good point.
I think you had written it down. I just missed it. It's one of those things that I think everybody.
But
what's that?
Where does it say it in the printing instructions?
I think it does.
It does.
It's just one of those.
Okay.
Yeah, it's one of those things when you're doing it, you just kind of look over it because almost everybody doesn't. Usually people don't include that as an instruction, so it's really easy to overlook by accident. So that's me not reading well enough.
Well, I don't know. I didn't do it either. So
wait. Is that the reason why I'm hearing the drill noise to make it bigger?
No, the drill was because I got sent 2 sets of rods and one set threaded rods, and apparently they cut one set the wrong size.
Oh, darn.
So I had, and naturally that's the set I used when I put it together, not even thinking that I needed to measure it.
Yeah, you should tell them and send them a picture next to a lead screw and a yardstick.
Well, see, I only bought one set, and so this all goes back because they didn't have the Delrin nuts, and I had had a bunch of emails back and forth with them about it, and essentially, I guess they sent me a set of Delrin nuts for free. They just happened to be the wrong free Delrin nuts. And they also sent the wrong lead screws with those Delrin nuts. So it was completely pointless that they sent me anything the second time.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so I am looking at the print settings right now.
Oh, yeah?
It says print all parts from PLA in the following settings. Print in the provided orientation, 0.2 layer height, 6 layers.
Oh, wait. Where are you reading this?
This is the README frame 3D printed parts.
Oh, you know what? I need to delete that because all of that's on the wiki now, and I've only been updating the wiki.
Well, there you go.
That's my bad.
I did not have the wiki open when I had my spreadsheet open of all the parts listed in it, and I cut and paste this instruction into the top of my spreadsheet.
Naturally, that totally makes sense to do such a thing. But
because I had all the parts listed, and then I would mark each part as I started the print.
Yeah.
And then mark each part as it completed, and then mark it again when I did the QA on it, on the
I
part.
see. Okay, I see the problem. Yeah, the README is still there. Oh, my bad. Yeah, so what I'm trying to do is get the repo to basically be a bunch of file soup for just the files, and get the wiki to be all the context of what the files mean.
That's fine. And that's a good idea.
But I'm definitely open to other options on how to do that.
Quick question. I apparently overzealously cleared one of these, so there's just the tiniest bit of wiggle in the retainer here. Does that really matter for the retainer?
Oh, no, that's totally okay. Yeah, basically
Okay.
it's to prevent it from like really flopping around.
That's what I figured. It's got maybe like a quarter of a millimeter of clearance to flop around.
That's totally fine. Yeah, I wonder if there's like a better way I can do that part with like a slight flexure so that it like clasps onto it, and then nobody really cares if it. Yeah, there's got to be a better way to do that part, but this is like good enough for now.
Actually, I think the part is probably fine because you've got that oval for, for the tool, well, that score or the circle for, so you can just slide it in. It would be better that it were larger there rather than smaller, because if it's too small, then you're going to have interference with the Z extrusion going all the way down to the crossbar. I don't know, maybe it's not really hopping around. It's just what I would be more concerned about is if it were too tight and you couldn't fit it in there.
Yeah, that would be bad, because if that were the case, then it would actually screw into it.
Yeah, I had to work with it the other night to get my get the rods to flow through there, but that's partly because of the way I printed the parts too.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the Z. So have you thought about using an upper bearing?
I could. It's just more money.
Okay.
I thought using a bearing would over-constrain it a little. No?
Well, no, you don't. The thing is, you use the bearing, but the bearing is you don't have to lock it down as a pillow block sort of thing. You have a floating bearing up there, but the bearing goes onto basically it's removing the rotational friction on the lead screw.
Yeah. What was I going to say?
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
I mean, I think most people who do this kind of stuff probably have a whole box of, 8mm ID bearings. At least I know I do.
Might be a little weak.
That's right.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if you want to upgrade it, people are welcome to, and there's totally space for it. But you don't really need to if you're able to get it, because it does work out of the box, and it's conical from the bottom, so that it doesn't actually engage any of the threads.
Yeah.
But if people are having problems with it, I can change it or make it more expensive with more parts.
Oh, no need. Well, soon it'll be a machined aluminum part. Just kidding. And we'll be upgrading the ball screws, which I think is probably way overkill on this.
Wait, you're upgrading the ball screws?
No.
Just kidding.
Okay. I was like, whoa.
That's all right. We're upgrading the ball screws and replacing all the extrusions with cast granite epoxy.
Which, I mean, if you have a lot of that spare, then okay. But
yeah, no, just not at all. Not even a little bit.
Somebody's been watching too many YouTube videos of billionaires.
Yeah.
Of billionaires.
Yeah.
Did you see the videos that they posted?
Oh, that guy, the Creo creator.
Yeah.
I know of him, but I haven't seen most of his videos. I think I like looked at it at some point, and I was like, okay, this is like relevant. This is relevant if I had like a metalworking shop, but I don't.
Yeah.
I have a plastic and more plastic shop.
Well, you have lasers.
Yeah, I
But
have
do you have
lasers.
sharks?
No, I only have the pew.
Aha,
Shark
there you go.
lasers? Never mind. Now I feel old. That's all right. So something I did on the feet when I printed the feet for mine, I actually did all the feet on my CR10S5,
Okay.
and I was using a 0.4 layer height with a 0.8 millimeter nozzle.
Oh my goodness, that must have been nice and quick.
It still took 6 hours, but yeah,
Okay.
to do all
Hey,
four of them.
well, if it makes you feel any better, if you do end up building a Jubilee and giving it a volcano nozzle, it will also take about 6 hours at 0.2.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's actually one thing I really love about the volcano. I did realize that just like the throughput on even 0.4 nozzles is so much more because you're able to heat up. You're just able to heat up more per unit area, I suppose.
Yeah, your flow rates are higher. You can actually
Your
do
flow
higher.
rate is just higher. It's great.
Did you see Teaching Tech? Michael at Teaching Tech did a tuning your printer speed. And he ran through. I mean, he referenced some other folks who had done some neat stuff with it. But he ran through the process for determining the max speed for your printer, starting with your extruder. Levi, no, sorry.
This is kind of crazy. This is actually starting to look like something suddenly.
Hey.
It's okay. He's getting ready to. I am seated watching the build on the big screen. Screaming from my iPad.
Yeah. What channel did you put this in?
Huh?
What channel was it posted in?
Did I forget to post that I was actually
Are you not a
stream?
subscriber? Have you not subscribed to his channel?
Oh, I didn't think I forgot about subscribing. That's a good point. Normally I just go click on the link.
I'm sorry, I somehow forgot to share today. 1 second.
No, it's all good.
What's he doing? Oh, he has a.
There you go.
He has a squirm on his head.
Oh, you stole my feet.
Sorry, it's the time where the beasties are getting their attention.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that looks great.
Yes. Sorry, I forgot to post that.
Oh,
no worries.
My taskings that are the taskings that are clearing the bench so I can start my build are nearing completion. I got the SSR connected. I got on the CR10S5, and I started laying out. I took apart the bed so I could put the Canovo heater on it.
I think I need to rearrange my camera.
It's a 500. It's 100. No, it's 1300 watt AC heater.
My goodness, 1300 watts.
It's a 500 by 500 bed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, that's once I get my Jubilee up and running. That'll be my next design build. Is taking the Jubilee concept and expanding it.
Yeah, which you totally do.
So you can't talk about your quantum dots. But that's really cool, by the way. But we were talking about doing the subtractive manufacturing, adding a Dremel or something.
I think. Oh yeah.
Yeah, go ahead. You were thinking.
Oh, you first.
Well, it's like what kind of putting a tool head on there that's going to be able to trim things away and whatnot.
Yeah.
I like the idea.
Oh yeah.
Has somebody posted something about it? Did I miss it?
Yeah. So E3D posted something about it back in maybe January, early January or late December.
Okay.
That was right before that was basically the reason why I made the near net shape manufacturing channel, was because they were posting somewhere else, and I was like, oh, I should make another channel, and someone actually requested it. But I think they called it. Yeah, I forgot who it was, but I think they called the process assemble, additive, subtractive, something extrusion machining by layer, I think is what it was called. It was honestly, it's a really great acronym, but near net shape manufacturing is the industry term for it. So I was like, I really like assemble, but I'm going to stick with the other one. Anyways, what they're doing is every layer they're picking up a spindle and cleaning it up, which yes, it is actually that repeatable that you can do that. And so I have no idea what their spindle looks like, but at Murph we might actually get like a little peek. However, I think a good starting point for a spindle might be the latest version of the ANT PCB. The ANT PCB drill. Basically, what they're doing is they have, or like in principle, what you want for a spindle is you want something that's low runout. And the way to do that, low runout means when something's spinning, it doesn't perfectly spin concentrically. It like wobbles a little bit laterally.
Yep.
And so to prevent that, you use two angular contact bearings, and you basically squeeze the shafts into the bearings. And what that does is that takes out the gets rid of the runout.
Yep.
So if you're familiar with the Van 10 tools, aka Other Mill, like formerly the Other Mill PCB mill, what they do is they have a nice spindle assembly with an ER like 11 collet on it, and what they do is they connect that over a set of O-ring pulleys to a really crappy Hobby King motor, and so as a result, they have really low runout on the spindle part, which is the important part, and then but then they also have a really cheap, high like power density motor from basically Hobby King, so from China. I think the modern spindles the modern versions of the machine have like an actual custom-made motor, but the original ones were made by Hobby King.
Okay.
So that I think would be, so the ANT PCB, the latest version of the ANT PCB uses that same concept.
All right.
So that would actually, I was actually going to look at this. I don't think I'm going to look at it for like 2 more weeks, but if anyone wants like the part numbers, the stuff that I was looking at to get started, I can at least point you to an AliExpress vendor with the angular contact bearings I was looking at, because they're pretty cheap.
Okay. Yeah, I was. I've got a background in as a machinist, so.
Yeah. Oh, so you totally know this. This is like, yeah.
Yeah, I used to run a heavy 10, a South Bend heavy 10, and then lathe on the submarine with a Versamill attachment, and I had
on a submarine.
On a submarine, yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wait, hang on. Let me check. Like, on a submarine, but also actually on.
So, I was the onboard machinist. So if we had something underway that we didn't have a part for,
that's so cool.
A lot of times I could make it. So
that's great.
Yeah, so we'd go and pull the drawing out of the engineering log room, and once we figured out from the index which drawing we needed, we'd get the microfiche card out of the stack. Tells you how old I am, right? So you pull the microfiche card out of the stack. You could use the printer to print the microfilm, or print the drawing from the microfiche. And people don't realize just how much storage you can get in a microfiche. And it's human readable. I mean, you need lenses, but that's it. You don't. Yeah. It's a human readable device. Wow. If your computer system goes down, the guys nowadays on the ships, if their drawing system goes offline, they are screwed, because all the manuals have been converted to electronic. Mm-hmm. There are no paper manuals on them. Yeah. So, but anyway.
Not that you can see this, but I have everything.
I can kind of see it.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure. I think I'm going to have to do a side angle because I'm out of cord on my camera.
Yeah. Bring it down so we can. Yeah. So yeah, we would if I needed something, we'd print it out, and I'd go back to the lathe and find the closest material that I could to the requirements, and then just make it. So.
Wow, that's awesome. That sounds like a fun misadventure at some point, but also adventure most of the time.
Well, the thing is, but most of the time, if we were ever in a situation like that, there were it was kind of bad news. If we needed part faster than we could get it from, get a CAS rep out, casualty report, and get squadron to send one out to us,
Mhm.
or we were in a position where we couldn't come up and get a part, meet up with somebody and get it,
Mhm.
because we'd have to come off station.
Yeah.
And usually that's not anywhere close to where we are actually at. But yeah, it was a blast when I was actually allowed to make things that we could use. And
You weren't taking
what's that?
you weren't taking pieces off the ship as stock in order to make this happen, were you?
No, absolutely not.
Okay. I figured they have plenty of stock down there.
No, we would have repair parts on board,
Okay.
and we had lots and lots of repair parts, but invariably something would break that we didn't have a replacement on board for, and then that's what I had to make. If I had the right material, we would make it, and then as soon as we got into port or got back near wherever our tender was, if they had the part on board, they would immediately replace the thing that I made with a stock part.
That's cool. Yeah.
Because all that stuff is subsafe and what was it? OQE. Most of it was called objective quality evidence, and it was cradle to grave parts quality management.
That makes sense. It's like a traceability thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, here.
Yeah.
All right. How's that for now?
Yeah. Well, we had a lot of nuclear and weapon systems and things like that. So yeah, they don't. And subsafe is something. Sorry. Subsafe is something completely. It's not even in the nuclear pipeline. It's submarine safety.
Okay.
So this part could cause the ship to sink and not come back up. Okay, we're going to be really careful about that one. Hey, Levi.
Ooh. That's a great view, by the way.
Yeah.
All right.
Levi.
So
We do.
I'm wondering, what is the best way, since this is obviously wobbly, what's the best way to make sure these are square, you think? I guess I could try to clamp a...
that you actually don't have to worry about.
What's that?
I mean, assuming you did the earlier instructions where you did the...
Yes.
Yeah, so this you don't have to worry about, because even if you have small misalignments, if the position is fixed, then the bed leveling will take care of it. Does that make sense?
Yep.
I suppose that does, but it would be...
Yeah, so I know if it makes you feel good, do it carefully. But don't worry about it too much, because as long as the position is fixed, it will be fine. Yeah. Because the bed fixes this particular error if you have any.
If there's any twisting.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, I think I'm going to try doing it by clamping 1, 2, 3 blocks into position.
So the rail alignment guides that we put up last night. Did you get a chance to look at them?
I did look at them. Where was I? Where I was like in between
you were
a couple
going
things.
to the park.
I was going to what?
You were going to go watch the park.
That makes sense. Where I was like, why did I feel like I was between something?
It was only last night.
It was. Oh, goodness. Yeah.
So I printed a set out today. They're about 0.5 millimeter off. They don't clamp on the rail.
Okay.
But if you print them out, line them up, and then all the same side gets pushed in, they'll be fine. The other ones I have are for the ones that I got with the White Knight. Actually slides all the way around the block, around the extrusion. So it doesn't just like slip over the top and go down. It actually goes all the way around the extrusion and has a clamp on the top. So, or it's split on the top above the rail. And it's got a place for a screw to go through it. So it clamps onto the extrusion and it clamps onto the rail, and that's going to give you your centering. because
Okay.
it's like a split part, and you're just counting on the little bit of flex in the PLA. And it's about 20, 25 millimeters thick, or along the length of the extrusion. So it's
Yeah.
got enough length that the clamping is going to be pretty. You're going to get enough contact along the length of the extrusion to get a good, at least a consistent centering, right?
There we go.
If you've got some, is there a little bit of horizontal play in the Z, or where the carriage goes on?
You mean
Or
the rail
crossbar.
versus the?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not
Horizontal
a lot.
play. I'm thinking horizontal play between the carriage and the crossbar.
Right. So when the
Yes, yeah. There is, because the holes are, I think they're 3.4. I don't think they're 3.2 on purpose, so that if you need to square it that way, you can square it that way.
right. Okay. So you've got a loose fit on the
Mhm.
on the clearance holes for the crossbar. And my crossbar arrived today. I posted a picture.
Yeah, thank you for
how'd you
supporting
get yours so fast?
the project.
I'm jealous.
Because I'm awesome. I don't know. So
Actually, somebody went to go pick it up in person. I don't know who it was, but yeah, I just know that someone's really close to him.
So the packaging, I really complimented him on the packaging.
Isn't it
because
great?
it's laser cut cardboard.
Yep.
And it has, I mean, I got the box and I opened it and there's a distinctive smell.
Yep. Yeah, like that is, I've seen that. I 713 Maker does that for the beds also. It's quite elegant. And I think Wade at Mandala Rose Works, he's done that for other things that are a little bit more, what am I trying to say? Like smaller parts, and he actually like lays them out in like a circle where every like screw is in like I don't know, like a circular array around some like part. So Wade overdoes it in a good way.
He does a Mandela with the vitamins.
Yeah.
Which is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's elegant, and that kind of attention to detail is important, and a lot of people don't get it.
Yeah, no, he's definitely speaking to the right audience.
Yeah, it's one of the things that happened. And we went out to Cupertino for training, and we were at the mothership, and now it's definitely the mothership. Because of the new campus. Part of our training is we got to spend half a day in and working directly with the product engineers.
Okay.
And part of product engineering is package design.
Oh.
And the package design is engaged at the beginning of the design process for the product.
Oh, that's cool.
So
That's
the packaging is not an afterthought, like so many, which is why when you look at Apple packaging, it's like, this is really elegant. And they're doing it with even more and more recyclable components and pressed cardboard and stuff like that.
Okay.
Sometimes, though, I feel like packaging is over-engineered. Like
packaging is, well, okay, so people think the packaging is over-engineered until you have to, hand it to UPS.
No, I mean, like it's overly complicated, like, to make it aesthetically pleasing, which I feel like probably adds to the cost of materials, I mean, I guess it's nice to look at, but you're going to tear it apart, throw it in the recycling bin, and never look at it again. So sometimes.
Now, are you talking about the exterior packaging for marketing? Because its shelf presence is important. There's a reason why there's a lot of board games that don't have a lot of interior components but are of a given size. Because there are common box sizes, or standard box sizes,
right,
that if you use the standard box size, you're paying about 30% of a custom box.
No, I just...
When you're doing publishing
There's...
and manufacturing.
Well, like, what was it that I bought recently? There was something that I bought, and you couldn't even see all of the complicated wizardry that was involved on the outside of the box. Like, it wasn't until you opened it, and you know, which you would already own it by this point. So, is it just to make you feel good that you bought something that was pretty? I don't know.
Maybe.
I just
Part of
find
it, that's definitely part of it.
I know some
Yeah, I
people.
think that experience, the unboxing experience, is actually a really big deal because when you think about all the YouTube people who have made who have gotten millions and millions of views just for like unboxing something.
True.
Yep.
Like if that experience is made flamboyant in any fashion or is made memorable in any fashion, I can imagine that bringing people back. And people talk about it too, like on forums. This is well packaged. Which is strange, but actually it's a discussion point.
I suppose that's true, but I feel some products go overboard with it. To me, something that
Do you have
looks
a
nice.
specific example?
God, I wish I could remember what it was. There was something I had recently that I was just like, "Oh my God, are you serious with this?" You know.
To be fair,
don't remember what it was.
I remember unboxing my Pixel phone because I was like, wow, this is like nice packaging.
I guess I'm just a minority. I feel like I would rather have the value in the product than the packaging.
No, I think you're right because I definitely have felt the way you have felt also, but now just like testing it against myself, the fact that I actually remember a packaging and unboxing experience is crazy. Especially when there's so many opportunities to be generic.
Yes. And you're triggering endorphins if you do it right. So,
I wouldn't be surprised.
I mean, seriously, if you're doing packaging right,
yeah,
the experience and the other thing, there's another step into that packaging experience or the unboxing experience, especially if you start doing it. And it's like you find multiple interior packaging and things like that. As much as anything, that might be due to the assembly process, and because those different components may be manufactured in different factories.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would make sense.
So, for example, when I got my new watch, I got the Apple Watch. The package has a space in it for the band, right? But it's a completely separate package within the overall experience. Ouch, that didn't sound good. But anyway,
just fell on a
reason
printed part.
that there's such a variety of bands, right?
Right, that makes sense.
So you're when you look at it, there's 2 different sizes, 5 different casing choices for material. So there's 10 SKUs right there, plus 30 different bands. And if you had to bring them all together into individual SKUs for a given case with a given band, that gets overwhelming as far as logistics are concerned, right?
Yeah, no, that's classy. Where there's small little design choices. I guess it's that point where something is mass produced, every decision was intentional. There's no because we felt like it.
No, yeah, well, yeah, and when the margins aren't that great, you've gotta start making sure that every decision makes sense. How many blocks do you have?
4.
Oh, okay.
6, but I'm only going to put on 4. Trying to figure out
people out when they watch this video.
I need to get more blocks.
I just like the idea of trying to make this thing put a few blocks on here to square up the frame as best as I can before I screw it down.
Well, you know what I said already.
What's that?
So we were talking about making an assembly tool, and I didn't get a chance to work on it today because I got I'm on call this weekend. I got called in.
Yeah.
Is a 25 and a 50 assembly guide. So you print the block out. So when you're doing the initial framing up,
Mm-hmm.
it just clamps onto the end. I'll get it.
Levi.
But
You just want.
I know you have at least this many blocks, Brian, because I know you also have a 25, 75, or 25, 50, 75, and a 1, 2, 3 block. So
Yeah, I got 4 of these.
I've got 2 sets of 1, 2, 3 blocks, but I'm not
Okay,
going
Brian,
to
I
use them.
just added the spring guide anchor block piece back into the assembly.
Oh, okay.
And then I promptly screwed up the instructions. So
Oh, by the way, you didn't call out some hardware sizes in the Z-axis.
oh, did I not? Okay, I gotta fix that. Oh, you know what? I may have already fixed. Well, I may already know, but you should tell me or put it in the GitHub issue.
Okay, well, yeah, I can. It's kind of minor, but it's just like up here, when we're attaching the rails, I didn't see anything. Yeah, so you have the bolts here, but you don't actually call out any of the sizes up on pages 5 and 6.
Oh, dang. Oh, I think I actually did fix that. Yes, I'm aware of this, but I haven't fixed it yet.
Okay. No big deal. I was just throwing that out there.
Yeah. But thank you, because I do need to fix it, and I'm damn, I thought I pushed that, but I don't think I did. Okay, so I have to go back and check. I think there is an open issue about it. Also, those little socks that you're highlighting, those blocks right there, I will make a one-to-one cutout and put it on that page, so you can just use that page as a reference to cut out the size.
Okay.
What are you talking about? Cutting what out to size?
The little silicone wiper.
Gotcha.
I'll make a one-to-one of that so people can use that as a reference for cutting them out.
Oh yeah, you just lay it on there and trim it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like
I did.
Rocktree.
I just made the silicone wipers earlier.
What's up?
So I just actually made the silicone wipers in the beginning of this video.
Oh, nice. I was not there. But yeah, I've been getting really, really good feedback from pretty much everyone who's building it, who's willing to give feedback, I would say. But yeah,
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, I was
we've
gonna
got
say that.
we've got just enough lag that.
I know, right?
The better question you should have asked me is, how many clamps do I have?
You have lots of clamps.
I love clamps.
I have lots of clamps too, but most of mine are spring-loaded and they're small because you need to be able to hold that rhino together.
Did you say rhino?
I did.
What is a rhino?
A rhino is a tank.
Okay.
For Space Marine. It's 40K tank.
Okay.
Lehman Russes and rhinos, and then you get into the Tau stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I have not played. You're talking about Warhammer 40K?
I am.
Okay. I know of it, but have not played it. But I sold my Form 1 Plus to someone who played it and was making figures. I think it was having me make. They had me make a test figure. You know what? It might not have been Warhammer 40K. It might have been something else. But I do remember small, like 25.4 inch figures that I was printing before they bought it from me.
Okay. Yeah, I've got the Form 1 Plus sitting out in the workshop now, or out in the office at the moment.
There. I think I'm mildly happy with how I've got this clamped up. Not every corner.
I do have a 100-watt UV flood lamp.
How does that work for you?
I haven't used it for anything except an escape room at the moment, but I have a second one that I was going to use as a curing lamp. And when you've got a 100-watt curing lamp, that's like a lot. Most of it's like, oh, this is a little 10-watt curing oven. It's like, no, this is a 100-watt curing oven, and that's one.
I've always wanted get into the resin printers, but I've always held off because of like the chemical smells I hear about. So
I hate saying it, but I kind of like it.
Okay, you are from the west, the northwest, right?
Yes. Well, actually, I'm not from there, but I moved there. What was I going to say? Okay, I actually don't have a Form 1 Plus anymore because it was a little bit too messy for me, and dimensional tolerances were a little bit harder to hit on that versus the actual FDM parts, believe it or not.
Really? Well, it's
Yeah.
because of the image. Yeah.
It's the warping. Yep. Yeah, I was really bummed, I must say.
Although with the materials are getting better and better and better, and with Form 3, with the low, the Form 3's got some really sweet capabilities now.
I know, but I wanted those earlier, and I think they.
Well, I backed Form 1 as a Kickstarter.
I know. I think it was one of those things where it was at this moment in my life when I didn't have a garage and was looking for something to play around with, and it was just a little bit too much trouble than it was worth, and that's when I also started building the laser cutter. And then that machine became the pet project, and then that machine started making parts, and I was like, you know what, let's just try to push everything into the laser cutter realm, because I can push press fit pins, and I can do heat set inserts in these. Yeah, and I think that was kind of the issue that I had with the Form 1 Plus, is that the whole like vocabulary of mechanical vitamins don't lend themselves as easily into resin parts as they do with printed, like thermoplastic parts.
Right.
So yeah, so that became a little bit weird.
So looking at the current crop of resin printers, I've got a Photon. Which one is it? It's one of the little ones. Currently, a friend of mine's borrowing it because he's churning out miniatures with it. And when I say churning out miniatures with it, he's gone through probably 10 or 12 liters of resin.
Okay, I would say that's like churning.
Yeah. He's getting real close to the swap time on the LCD. As far as runtime on it. Because the LCD is a consumable in these.
Oh my goodness.
Now remember, you're using a 2K display that's basically a phone screen.
It's not overly expensive anymore, are they?
No, they're like $35 or something like that for the LCD.
Yeah, that's not bad. And
you go through the FEP film faster than that, so you're changing. But they've made the tray or the vat is a machined aluminum part, and you're tensioning the film across the bottom.
Wait, the vat is now a machined aluminum part?
Not in the form. This is in the current crop of resin printers.
Okay.
So the current crop of resin printers, instead of laser, it's using an LCD and a UV light source. So it's masking. So you're doing an entire layer at a time.
Okay.
And it's roughly anywhere from 8 to 18 seconds, give or take, per layer for exposure time.
Okay.
But the exposure time is the same, but it's depending on which material you're using, which resin you're using. The more opaque resins take longer to set up or to cure, exposure-wise.
Okay.
And so instead of the tank itself being consumable, it's machined aluminum, and you are clamping the bottom layer is FEP film. So you stretch it out, you clamp it down, and the way it clamps is it provides tension on that film, even tension all the way around, and then you just trim the outside edge, and then it gets
cool.
Yeah. So that is consumable, and the LCD is consumable because the UV exposure over time actually destroys the LCD. So
interesting.
Because it's pretty intense.
And the LCDs are not really made for it.
Yeah, no.
Someday it might get better.
You have none of the backlight protection because it needs to be UV transparent, right?
You actually have to remove the backlight, or at least back when it was still DIY stuff.
Yeah.
You'd have to deliberately remove all the UV protection from the LCDs.
So, but they're sub $300 now.
Mm-hmm.
And the resins come down in price also. So, and so it's, and some of the newer ones that are doing it are actually, the Creality's got a new one they just released. It's a little bit on the pricier side, but they've learned from other folks that came out earlier, like the Elegoo Mars and whatnot.
Okay.
So, but they've added things like carbon filter. So you're drawing air down through the build chamber and then out through a carbon filter. So that removes a lot of the smell.
Cool.
Stuff like that. So that helps. But being able to do some resin printed parts certainly helps, especially when you're looking for the ultra fine details.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we're not going to be printing it at 0.05 layer heights or 0.025 layer heights. I mean, we could.
Yeah.
We're not really putting that in plastic at that point.
I mean, I think
we get that 0.1. So get the E3D 0.1 millimeter nozzle, and I've seen benchies that could fit on a dime.
Yeah. Yeah. So I am planning a volcano nozzle on one for my Jubilee.
Yeah, that's what I run one volcano and one V6, or that's what I've been playing with on V2, and by far, I might switch them both to volcano, assuming soluble support does not have any issues with being inside of a volcano, inside the longer heat.
Yeah, because it tends to cook off. You start losing the volatiles in it, and we got other issues.
Exactly. So I haven't actually played with that yet, but I will say had I known about the volcano nozzle, had I known about it, I would have started there instead of with a V6.
Okay.
Oh, random question. Back to the back when we were talking about CNCs, or adding a spindle to the Jubilee. Do you think stuff like Delrin and wood would be a problem for it?
I think it might actually work if you're willing to go at a not too terribly quick pace. Then again, on my end, I don't have too much of a reason to actually machine Delrin because of the laser cutter. But
well, if you want Delrin to be a shape that is not in just a vertical plane, then you'd want to machine.
Yeah, you're not.
That's a good case for it.
So
kind of goes
the other
back.
thing is putting in a wasteboard.
That though, at least could be a different plate.
Yeah, because you just change out the whole plate.
Yeah, and 713 Maker actually sells non-magnetic plates also, and that's a great use case for them. They're less than half the price. I think they're like $70.
If you just clamp a piece of plywood on top of it, that would be your wasteboard. You wouldn't need to.
There we go. Or sticky tape.
Or sticky tape, yeah. One of the things I was thinking of is you get you put a.
Well, you want some protection from the spindle or from the spindle from the bed. You know what I mean? I'm thinking like a piece of masonite or a thin piece of plywood or something like that to go on top, so that you can cut into it a little bit or whatever without worrying about cutting into your bed.
Yeah. Ooh, nice. Yeah, these are fair price.
Oh, the contact bearings?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a set of like 10 of them. I think these are the same model that the Ant PCB mill uses.
Oh. All right. Are you using two pairs or a single pair?
Oh, what do you mean by pair? What do you mean by 2 pairs versus 1? You mean like 4 versus 2?
Well, I mean, you're going to be using duplex arrangements, right? On the bearings?
Right, they're going to face each other and then you squeeze them.
Yep. But using a pair at the top and a pair at the bottom of the spindle. Or
Yeah.
of the, okay, so you're using 2 pairs.
I'm using, wait, are bearings referred to as in pairs?
Well, with an angular contact bearing like this, you're whether they're, you've got different back-to-back, face-to-face, back or tandem
Mm-hmm.
for the angular contact bearings. So they're always run in pairs. You don't run a single angular contact bearing. But you can run a single pair on a spindle, or bending on the, if you're going to be running 2 pairs, 2 sets, or 3 sets, depending on how you want to, how long your spindle is. Right?
Okay, so I think I'm just using 1 pair at the top and the bottom.
Okay, so you're using 2 sets of bearings. So, because you're constraining at the top and the bottom.
Yeah, and then they get squeezed.
Okay.
Well, this
that does
got
a pretty
heavier.
good job of picking out the lash. Yes,
Uh-huh.
it does get heavy.
Sorry, terminology.
Oh, it's all good. No, it's nice to know what other people call it.
And I did pick up a copy of that constraints book. It's really interesting.
Isn't it good?
It is. It is. And whoever found that coupon on it was really awesome. Did not it's a $48 book instead of a $68 book.
Oh, nice. I wish I knew that already. Good job, Internet.
Definitely not. I tried to read it while I was on the plane, and it's just like, yeah, it's wiggling too much for me to actually focus. We were in some pretty bad weather, and it's like, yeah, I can't focus on these drawings.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's bad. You're bouncing around and trying to actually wrap your head around the disc of constraint when you're working. Yeah. Getting chapter 2 was definitely interesting, trying to wrap around that three constraint model with the 2 ball joints and 2 pivot joints and
Oh, okay.
I don't think I'll ever be getting that hard into engineering, mechanical.
Yeah. Well, it's one of those things where, like, even if you don't read the book thoroughly, you will start to see the patterns in other people's works, and that will at least kind of help you identify whether or not you want to build that printer or build that machine. It's kind of like a way of identifying what or the intent behind some of people's works.
Yep. I also picked up I don't even, where did I put it? It's up on the shelf somewhere. Building 3D printers. What's his name? Doggone.
Oh, I'm not familiar with this, huh?
It's design concept. He's a mechanical engineer out of University of Chicago, I think. Decker, don't do it. Corwin. Okay. Yeah, I think he is. Okay, sorry. We've got the old man at the very top of the cat tree, and the youngest is working his way up the scratching post from the bottom.
I just remembered I wasn't going to tighten down the top frame. Dang it.
Too late. You already did it. Yep. And you put Loctite on it, so you're stuck. Always forward. Always forward.
Yeah, I was going to, when I go to, because when I replaced the rails on the top, I didn't really want it to be.
Oh, you ordered the LDO rails, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, are they already in?
No, I'm not getting them till Monday. These are the old rails.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry the old rails were such an ordeal because I don't know, maybe I got lucky. I've ordered a few and they've all been good.
You know, my Y rails were better before I took them apart. But my X rails definitely, or X rail and Z rails definitely needed some love.
Okay. Well, I ordered a set of 3 more, as well as some LDO ones, and I will increase my sample size.
maybe I'm just, I don't know, like my Y rails were actually pretty decent. I only took them apart because I'd taken the X ones apart and found some trash inside them, but maybe I just had a bad batch. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. I would, I don't know. Yeah, because when I ordered mine, after ordering mine, looking back before I put the bomb, I looked at the reviews. It was pretty consistently people who were happy across the board.
Yeah, and I got the Sunshine.
Yep, yeah, that one.
Yeah, those are the ones I got. I got them on Amazon, so it's all right. I have a stack of Chimeras out there. I've got an extra Volcano set.
Well,
Oh my.
I don't know if you remember, but originally when I started talking to you about all the tool changer stuff, I was doing it because I was going to integrate it into the upgrade for my big box.
Integrated into upgrade what?
I was going to try to integrate your tool changing mechanism into my upgrade for the big box that I was working on.
The E3D big box?
Oh, the big box. Okay.
Yeah, back when before you were still working on trying to get your pen plotter working.
Oh, yeah, I do remember.
Yeah, because I was chatting with you on Twitter for a while.
I do remember that. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
I am late to the party.
But
it's okay. No, I think we started talking on Twitter a while ago.
It was practically after your first Twitter post, because E3D had been like, hey, look at this guy who's using our geometry for tool changers. You know, I forget exactly what their post was, but they were happy about it, right? And then I started following you from right then and chatting with you on and off a little bit. But anyway, my point was, I think one of the reasons I was being a little bit, I guess, anal about it for the Jubilee is that I wanted this to be able to, hit the speeds that it was designed for and be smooth in the core XY section of the machine.
Yeah.
However, I might actually continue the big box upgrade once I finish this. I have extrusion for it, and now I have some Y rails, so I can reuse those for that project, and I won't be losing much of anything.
Yeah, well, on that note, there is, sorry, I hate to nickel and dime you. There's one more upgrade that I'm trying to work on, which is bigger XY motors. LDO makes a run of, they call them NEMA 17 Max motors.
Okay.
They're 0.9 degree. They take 2 amps of current, and they have a wee bit more holding torque, so they're able to go just a little bit faster.
Okay.
One of the things the E3D motion system can do is they actually can go faster than Jubilee by quite a bit, but it's because they're using 1.8 motors.
They're using the super whoppers, right?
Yeah, oh no, actually they might be using Moon's motors, Moon's 1.8 motors. Well, which they might, it's unclear what they're currently shipping with, but I do remember them mentioning that they were going to at some point switch to Moon's motors because of lower inductance. Which they probably have done at this point.
Okay. Yeah, when E3D was doing their Christmas sale, they had their 1.8 Whopper motors, the NEMA 17s, but the long ones.
Yeah.
For
so that's
like $12 a piece.
Yeah.
So I got 3 or 6 of them or something like that. Yeah, it's that stack of steppers I have out there. With the shipping cost, it was one of those. All right, so I can buy them on Amazon, or I can get them from LDO if I can wait that long, or I'll just order them from E3D because they're a third of the price of buying them anywhere else right now. So I'll get extras.
And sorry, go ahead.
No. Yeah. It's the reason I got 30 of the 8mm balls. Buy 3 bags of 10 instead of 1, or buying 2 and having not enough to do a second machine. Or
how about 9 bags because you didn't read the part numbers?
What's that?
I said, how about 9 bags because you didn't read the part numbers?
Well, there are people in England who could use them. Uh-oh.
What are you uh-ohing?
Oh, Kevin's posting stuff. I have this ramp and this logo. It's like, yeah, and? He's trying to put a logo on a curved surface.
I need to start.
I've done this before, actually.
Yeah, it's a projection.
Yeah, I can look it
Or
up
you do
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I need to start printing tool holders, and I've got the Hemera.
Wait, you want to start with mine?
Well, so that's what I was wondering about, because I thought Luke had modified it to do something.
Well, I mean,
I forgot what it was.
The tool mount, not the tool post, but the plate, the tool plate.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Luke has been great. Occasionally makes me laugh though because it's like, wait a minute, like Luke answers a bunch of Jubilee questions without having a Jubilee, and every once in a while they're not entirely correct, but I think I've been able to chime in the cases where I've noticed.
Yeah. Well, it's like because he's not building a Jubilee, he's just using the tool changer part or parts of the tool changer part, and not even parts of the tool changer part. He's only using the remote extra. 3D stuff. So the Hemera mount that I've got and that I've posted pictures of, for the most part works, and it does. I've got a stand where I've mounted the Hemera on it, and the stand is a bench stand. So I figured out where I'm trying to figure out the center of gravity, center of rotation on the Hemera as it's built.
Okay.
So, and I was trying to put that center of rotation at the tool post or at the
That would be nice. I mean, you don't have to, but that would be nice. I will mention.
Trying to minimize stresses on the lockup.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. I think that just simply by having the Hemera be bottom heavy instead of top heavy, we're almost never going to see this problem with the Hemera because of that reason. Because with the other motor, it's like an unstable equilibrium where you have like an inverted pendulum basically, because all the weight is above the pivot point.
Yep. So
if you put any twist into it, that will only add to the amount of force that's twisting to it. Versus something that's bottom heavy, if you twist it, there's going to be weight that's going to try to fight you. So
it's going to tend to resist rotation.
Exactly.
Moment of inertia is below the point of rotation. So if you want to start with the one I've got, run a quick print on it. If you grab the tool post, you should have a link to my GitHub.
Yeah, I will. If you can send me a link again, because I meant to put it in the wiki and it just disappeared.
Okay. It's in the custom tools. I just have to find it again.
Oh, if that's the case, I can find it then.
But it doesn't have mounting holes for like the tool board. It doesn't have places to tie off your cables yet, because it's initial draft, right?
Yeah, so I can start there.
And if you look at it, it's actually set up so that one of the mounting screws for the lock plate goes into the mount point for the Hemera.
Oh, all right. Okay.
So I used, let's see, I don't know how far back we have to go. You have popcorn. He wants it.
Popcorn.
So yeah, Luke's trying to do some stuff with the dumb board and whatnot, which is really cool. Now I have to go get a whole bunch of I have to go get a whole bunch of 12-volt fans. Heavy sigh. So if you run back to give or take the 14th of February in the custom tools channel, H2B has got some work that he's been doing with my Hemera mount. So we just need to add a 2mm spacer in a couple of places to give a little bit of clearance on the Hemera. And I think adding a spacer is better than trying to put something on the backside, because the backside, I made the backside as flat as I could.
Okay. Aha! I found it.
So he's got some pictures of with the Hemera mounted with the fan duct at the end.
Nice. Okay. I see it. Okay.
So that the bottom of the lock plate triangle actually goes right into is lined up on the Hemera mount. So if you use the right length of screw as you snug that down, it'll go through the heat set insert, come out the backside, and lock into your Hemera.
Oh, hey. Okay.
I don't know what that length is off the top of my head. I'd have to go look, but yeah.
But this I can play with. Cool. Thank you. Yeah, thanks so much for doing this, by the way, because I meant to do it, and then I got issue number 43 on GitHub, and I was like, I gotta fix this first because
no worries.
The MVP needs to work.
So the other thing I wanted to throw out there is there's some discussion about where to put the tool boards and things like that.
Oh yeah.
And mounting it on the front of the Hemera, but you got to have the clearance, and I think that's, I don't know, the tool board, the way the tool board's set up is you're not coming off the edges of the tool board. You're coming straight up off the board. They're not right angle connectors for everything. So you've got some minimum bend radiuses on the wiring to be aware of. So I was thinking pushing that up, and I don't remember how much space I've got between it. I think there is enough space between the tool post wings.
I was gonna say there's a whole bunch of, there might be a whole bunch of space right there. I can't see it in this picture.
They're SolidWorks 2016, and I think I added step files